This Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder.
Real wrath of God type stuff.
Biblical. No, not yet.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
I came here to give you these facts.
Dogs in camp, living together. Mass hysteria.
We're going to live on. Today, we celebrate.
Flabbergasted by the Audacity.
I'm glad that the weather's getting warmer. It's always good to see that.
Cool.
I think we're what, 3 weeks now that we've missed.
No,
I think 1 week I
only
couldn't.
Only
2 weeks.
two.
Okay, good. Thank God. Well, we have a shit ton of stuff to cover. Well, before we can cover any of that, we have to start with the intro. Cause this is Flabbergasted by Audacity. I'm Jamal,
And I'm Patrick.
and on this week, I have words of wisdom, and it's very short. It's one of those words of wisdom where it's like, you know what? Sometimes you can try to like somebody or just try to like something, but no matter how hard you try, sometimes you're just not gonna like them. And I just don't like Trump. I tried. I really tried. I really tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, and you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe America needs this. I can't. I tried, and I think I hate him more now than I did the first time he was in term. I think because he didn't have as much power in the first term, because I think the Senate was still Democrat. He couldn't really do what he wanted to, but now that it's all Republican, I can't fucking stand this guy. But we'll get into him in a little bit.
I like that. Even the words of wisdom aren't safe from politics anymore.
No, they're not. They're not. Honestly, dude, my topic list is almost to where I have to scroll down on my phone because of how much shit I have. So it's gonna be pretty much 80% political. So this is not your cup of tea for the viewers. I'm sorry, but we have to get this out the way. We promised once a month. We skipped 2 weeks, so technically this is February's end of the month. The political discussion basically. But it was kind of good that we waited this long because we got some other stuff that got added on to that we can kind of rapid fire through quickly. I'm not gonna try not to spend too much time on it, but we'll see. Anyways, first of all, congratulations to Mark Carney for winning the Liberal election here in Canada. He won convincingly. It's crazy because it's crazy. I've never seen a political debate with the same party because it's just all liberal leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they had a debate in French and in English, they were all complimenting each other, oh yeah, I like what he said, but I would they were just tweaking a little bit what they would do, but they're all on the same page, and that threw me off. First of all, it was boring as fuck. I realized that I need entertainment in my fucking debates, or else I'm bored. I was like, okay, guys, I got it. But he won convincingly versus the other three candidates. He needed 51% to win. He had 85. So he fucking
Bit
crushed
of a landslide.
Bit of a landslide, just a tad. But it was a nice speech. I like what Trudeau said. Unrelated, his daughter's actually a very good speaker. I was very impressed by her, actually. I was not expecting her to be that good of a speaker. Both daughters, actually. Mark Carney's daughter introduced her dad, and Justin Trudeau's daughter introduced her dad. Both really good speakers. Carney was okay. I'm gonna have to get used to him. I think it's it's been 10 years of Trudeau. You get used to how they talk. It's I'm gonna have to get used to how he talks. But with him winning, and it's crazy just how crazy the political landscape shapes basically. The Conservatives had a double-digit lead come last November, December, basically before Trudeau said that he was gonna resign. They have now a 1% lead. They were by double digit, 20% over the Liberals, to the point where the Liberals were losing to the NDP. And now there's 1% between the Liberals and the Conservatives. Papa Polyev be shit in his pants right now because
So sad.
it should not be this close, but it is. Because he's been fucking up, so that doesn't help. And he's losing support everywhere. It's kind of crazy how fast how quickly he fell. I was like, okay, like Carney's gonna come in and like, yeah, it's gonna give some liberals like, like, okay, yeah, maybe I can vote for liberal again. But like, I didn't think it was gonna be to this point, but it really is to this point. Like, the guy's killing it right now. So we're gonna see. Maybe it's gonna be one of those situations where it's gonna be like a Kamala Harris situation where like hype train for a minute, but then like once it dies, he's gonna drop. We'll see. I don't know. But
am I crazy
I'm
for
excited.
thinking Carney came out of nowhere? Like, I swear, like, I heard nothing about
He did-
anything, and then
oh,
and the new
he
prime
came out of
minister
nowhere.
was like, huh? What?
He did kind of come out of nowhere because what's so funny was Chrystia Freeland, the finance minister who resigned, she was the one who started this all. She was like, oh, like, I want to make a debate because she was thinking if I do it now before people get to know who Carney is, I'll win. She got slapped like major, like it was crazy because it was 3% for this other guy, 3% for this other girl. She got 8, and then Carney got the rest. I was like, yo, the guy killed you. Like, you didn't even stand close to a chance. He did kind of come out of nowhere, to be honest. But he's been around. He's been around for like a long time. He was actually a part of the Harper government. I didn't even know about. He was he helped England through recession. So I was like, oh, okay. So the guy's like kind of good at finance. So that's great to see. So hopefully he can battle. I think he can. It's gonna be interesting. But I gotta give my props to Trudeau. To be honest, these last couple of months, I don't know what it is about Trudeau. I don't know if it's the fact that he was like, I'm just you. I think he really was like, well, what are you gonna do? Fire me? I'm leaving. Like the guy was like, just doing shit every which way possible. I was like, yo, the guy is on a fucking like course right now. So let's get into the bulk of it, right? Let's get into Trump real quick. I do want to give. I want my $2. I want my $2 from you, Patrick, because we had discussed this on the podcast a couple weeks back, where I told you, I said, if he deports the illegals from Mexico or from wherever they are back to Mexico, the farms in the South are gonna suffer because Americans are not gonna want to do the job of picking tomatoes or whatever off the vines. And sure enough,
your incredibly racist comments, yes.
100%. But sure enough, I am correct that the farms right now are suffering because they cannot find workers to work their farms because Trump has deported the immigrants back to Mexico. So I'm not saying that I was right, but I'm right because right now the farms are suffering, right?
Okay.
That's one.
So you just expected an instantaneous change, immediate results.
Well, I thought the Americans were gonna, get to work. I thought the Americans were gonna just get, you know what? Yeah, you know what? We're gonna get rid of the illegals and we're gonna work the fields. That's not happening. They're not working the field.
Well, it definitely will.
They're not even
Because the
trying.
problem with paying people under the table is they keep wages incredibly low, so no one wants to work those kinds of jobs.
Yeah.
But now,
So
with
then-
that kind of shift, you're going to see a growth in that market.
Well, man, hey, I hope you're right because right now I'm not seeing it.
Yeah,
At all.
okay. No, this is the thing I talked about I don't remember in what regard, but it's the fact that we as people, especially in today's day and age with social media and whatnot, we like to see instantaneous results. Like,
Okay.
oh, it's been a week. Why the fuck didn't this fix itself? Like, well, it takes time.
I understand
It's
that,
not.
but
It's
you
not
understand-
immediate.
Okay, so then let's continue. So now with the tariffs coming into effect, right? Tariffs back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I love, and I mean love, how Canada has responded to these tariffs. I think they responded perfectly. I would like it to be a bit more intense, but I understand that you're dealing with America and you don't want to poke the bear too hard. It is a fucking powerhouse of a nation, I'll give them that. But I love what they're doing. I love the fact that we took off all the American whiskey off the shelves. I love how patriotic we've become as a country. You know it's bad when Quebec wants to unify with Canada. That's how you know you've done something, because that's crazy.
What does that even
That's
mean
just
at that
crazy.
point? Wants to unify? Like, aren't we unified? What do you mean?
Well, first of all, I'm not sure if you know, there's a lot of, I didn't know about this myself. There is a lot, you know that we do not do a lot of trade within Canada, between provinces? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of regulations between provinces when it comes to intertrading, which they're trying to get rid of now because of the of the tariffs, right?
Yeah, which I think is a great thing for the Canadian economy, because
Very.
what happens when you export all of your goods is you
Yeah.
don't get circular trade within your own country,
For sure.
so your money is going out and not coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So I'm all for it. I really hope that happens. I've also been more cautious myself, purchasing American goods. I have an app that I downloaded on my phone a couple days ago. It's called Buy Canadian, and basically it's run by a Canadian company that you scan any barcode of any item that you buy at a grocery store, and it will tell you if it's Canadian or American.
Well, okay, this is
So
the
I'm
thing
very-
though. I don't know if I'm going crazy or something, but ever since I heard about
Okay.
this essential trade war, I suddenly
Yeah.
started noticing. I don't know if it's always been there, and I just wasn't conscious of it. But on every label of any product at the supermarket, you can see either a Canadian flag or no Canadian flag to let you know whether or not it's Canadian. Is that new?
It's been recent. No, yeah, it's new. It's new.
Okay, it was blowing on like,
Yeah,
has
no,
this
no.
always been here?
No, it's been new. It's basically companies realize, I think what's sad is that I don't see this trend lasting for too long. This whole buy Canadian. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Canadians really are like gonna stand up. I doubt it.
I've been
But
waiting
as
for
of-
Canadian patriotism since I was like maybe 15.
I know.
No, since
No,
I
for
became
sure.
conscious that like we're not American.
Wait a second. But no, I've been really proud of it. To be honest, I've been really proud of it. I've been really happy to purchase Canadian and even try and purchase Quebec. Like I've been really been like these last 2-3 grocery shops. I've been really trying, and the grocery shops are helping too. They are also putting signs out saying this is made in Canada, this is made in Canada, this is made in Quebec, to really try and push themselves because they know that it's cheaper for them to buy from Canada within Canada than having to buy in America, right? With the whole tariff situation. So that part I agree with. Like I said, I don't hate Trump in the sense of, oh, you're making us buy Canadian. I think it's a good thing, to be honest. I think it's making us realize that, you know what? We can't rely on just one person, on just one neighbor. There's a whole fucking market in Europe that we just are just now starting to explore, which we should have been exploring years ago. You know what's money that could have made us to be exporting to Europe, and just now we decided to because we say, oh, but we have America, we're so close to America. It's like, yeah, but like that market's available, like it's untapped potential.
Like
you
it
know?
should have been a part of it, but not like a focus.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Like being able to have a focus and be like, okay, guys, we're gonna send 80% of our exported goods to Europe. Fine, okay, whatever. But there should have already been a connection there. I think that part really is a shame that the connection wasn't there. And we had time. It wasn't like Trump wasn't talking about tariffs the day he got into office. He was talking about it when he was on the campaign tour. It's like, regardless of the fact, even if Campbell would have won, we still should have had that option. That option should have been available either way.
Well, what option exactly?
In terms of trading to Europe.
Well, I
know?
like Canada trading to Europe, because that
Yeah,
option
yeah,
was always there. It was just
I know, we just never took it.
Yeah, apparently you're just like,
We
nah,
should've.
we're good.
We should have. Yeah, no, we should have. That part I agree with you. I think we definitely should have done that. And then looking at the tariffs, I've been reading on this, dude, like the last 2.5 weeks, and nobody wins. But I think what's so crazy about it, and this is where I want to get your input on it. I'm just curious about how you look at this, right? All the biggest bank in America, JP Morgan, contacted Trump directly and said, this is going to put America into a recession. 40% chance that we go into a recession because of what you're doing right now with the tariffs. What do you say to that as someone who maybe doesn't really agree with Trump but isn't on my side in the sense of what he's doing? What do you say to that? What do you say to the guy
Specifically to
basically
JP Morgan?
Well, just to JP Morgan, but do you think, as someone who isn't the biggest supporter of Trump but isn't in denial of what he's doing, do you think he's doing a good job as of right now, as of today?
Yes.
You still think he's doing a good job? Please explain to me how you think this guy's doing a good job.
Well, in terms of what you just said with this whole JP Morgan thing, how do you know they're
Well,
just trying to cover their own ass? The biggest bank in America faces a possible threat. What do? Oh, how do we avoid screwing ourselves over? Well, we just say he's doing something wrong and we try to advise him to do the opposite. And the reason why I was was so much in favor of Trump was that he was going against the grain. He can't be bought, and that's what I really appreciate about him. So whenever you see like, oh, he's not doing this for us, screw him. It's like, well, why would he do that for you? Just so you can get more money? I don't think so.
Do you understand how many companies are going to be affected by this? Not Canadian companies, American companies, American cars. A Ford F-150 is not going to cost you $100,000 to buy.
Who said
compared
that?
to the $60,000.
Who were you getting this information from?
From multiple sources, from Fox, from ABC, from NBC, from CTV to CBC. They're all saying the same thing. The cars, especially, Hamilton, Ontario, is the biggest exporter of cars to America. For Chevy and all these other companies.
I want you to know. Half of those news outlets you just mentioned are owned by one company, and they're essentially paid.
Are you telling me that I'm wrong? Are you telling me that I'm wrong? You're telling me that
I cannot tell you 100% that you are wrong, but there is a high chance.
Okay, but Patrick, you can check on the website.
Who the fuck wrote the website, Jamal?
But why would Ford, the company who makes the car, tell them, hey guys, we're gonna lie to you and say the car's actually $60,000. Well, we know for a fact it's gonna cost you $100,000 to buy this car. It's on the website. I checked the website. I checked AmericaFord.com. I wanted to buy an F-150. They said, due to the tariffs, the car's now gonna cost you $100,000 from the usual $60,000. I was scared. I said, you know what? Knowing Patrick's gonna tell me that it could be lying, and I checked the website itself, and the website said exactly what the news sites were saying. So how can I be wrong? I've done my homework. I've checked. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I like how I understand what you're saying. Yeah, okay, fine. Trump cannot be bought. Maybe J.P. Morgan is just trying to cover in his little that. Fine, but I don't see it. I do not see it. Right now, I see a man who doesn't know quite what he's doing. Every other fucking day, he flip flops. This, that. 1 hour is this. 1 hour is that. And he's just kind of making it up as he goes. There's no concrete plan. Fuck, the guy with the beard, I can't remember his name, who works with Trump, sometimes he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He says one thing and Trump goes, no, we're not going to do that. I'm like, dude, how the fuck is a guy who's supposed to be your financial advisor not on the same page as you? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like, I don't understand.
No idea who the man with the beard is. Who is this person?
I don't remember his name.
Okay.
Fuck. He's the financial advisor. I'll get his name for next.
Well, I don't know the details of what you're saying about Ford. We'll just use them as an example, as a hypothetical, okay? Let's just say, hypothetically, they're outsourcing most of their, we'll say what the trucks are built out of from other countries. And Trump's saying, no, you're not going to do that anymore, you're going to make them in-house. Well, then that means that they would have to build their stuff on American soil, which would increase how much they have to pay their employees. Because what happens is when you outsource to, let's say, China, for example, which has the lowest pays for employees, right? That means you are now saving a ton of money because you're essentially using what is slave labor because you're paying them pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
So when you move it to America, their income will go down, but their employees will make more. And what happens when employees are paid more, Jamal? They spend more. And what happens when they spend more? The economy gets better.
Do you really think Ford is gonna drop their income of how much money they're making? The guys at the very top, the greedy motherfuckers.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, they would.
No, they wouldn't. There's no fucking way.
No, Jamal. That's the essential problem, though. That what happens is they'll slash payouts to the employees, so they get a bonus. You've heard about that, right? From multiple different massive companies. Yeah. Oh, we had to lay off 1,000 people, but our annual salary went up, right?
For sure. So then, why the fuck would Ford do that? Why the fuck would Ford bring their shit on American soil? They're just gonna go, you know what? Trump wants to put the tariff, no problem. We're gonna pass it on to the consumer. We're gonna make even more bang for our buck, and we're chilling.
You think anyone's gonna pay that?
Different.
No one's gonna pay that.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna find out, huh? Because honestly, what's so funny is 50% of Trump supporters are dissatisfied with how Trump's handled the economy.
Where do those numbers come from, Jamal?
But
you can't take anything at face value these days.
So what you're saying that the people that they voted for, they just put a number like that out of thin air.
Well, who the fuck do they
maybe
ask?
it's not
You always hear
50% on
about
the
these
spot.
polls and statistics on the radio and whatnot. Like,
Statistics.
yeah, I know. I recovered.
Having a
Shut
stroke.
up. You always hear about like,
yeah.
oh, this poll, that poll. It's like, no one fucking asked me. You never get
understand. Oh,
you never get the
you're-
calls,
first
you
of
never
all-
get the text. I'm talking about even
First of
Canadian.
all-
Even Canadian, like you hear like, oh, so and so percentage said this. Like, no one asked me. I'm of age.
A lot of times it's by phone that I don't pick up numbers that like I don't know.
So they're
but,
asking
like,
old
I-
people.
It's possible.
You're
It's very,
immediately
very
cutting
possible.
off 50% of people.
I don't think a lot of young people voted for Trump. I'm very positive.
He was
more
actually
of the
very
population.
popular among the younger generation.
Depending on where in the younger generation, like where in America. Maybe I feel like the middle states, probably the younger population voted for them because their dads did or their parents did or they were brought up in a
Well,
certain
wasn't
way.
it, from what I recall, I don't remember, but I know it was a record high for the young voters, and they mostly voted for Trump.
Yeah, probably the white guys, most likely.
Why are you
probably voted
so
for that.
racist?
Any black person who voted for Trump, they should just turn their black card in because they're fucking retarded.
That is also
100%.
racist. How? Why do they have to?
and
Why?
I don't
Why?
care. And
Why?
I don't care because Trump doesn't like black people. Like,
How do you?
it's just
Okay,
straight up.
Where do you get this stuff from?
What do you mean get up? I can just see it. I can
What do
see
you?
it
What does that
live
even
in front of me.
mean? Examples.
This
I
guy-
need examples. You can't just say something like that.
And then Patrick, if I tell you an example, you're gonna go, "Well, where'd you get that from?" There's never a win with you.
Well, no,
You'll
because
never
because in
agree
this,
with me.
no, if for this example, you would specifically
Yes.
have to have like a quote or a clip or something. You can't
And
just
then what?
you can't just say
So, okay.
he did this.
So then, for women who voted for Trump, let's just go. I'll exclude the white people for now because I don't have an example right now. But for women, we do. Grab her by the pussy.
Jamal.
So we're
Jamal.
Patrick.
Jamal.
It was by him.
No, no.
It was his voice. Please tell me how it's wrong. Please tell me how it's wrong. Tell me how it's wrong.
No, I'll give you an example back.
What do you mean? A double back of what? Him
All right,
respecting
no,
women?
Just listen. Are you listening?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Jamal. You have a girlfriend, right? You love her.
Okay.
You love her deeply, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So when we were watching What About Bob,
Yeah.
and
okay.
you couldn't stop talking dirty about the mother and the daughter characters.
Yes. Am I the president of the United States?
Nor was he when he said those things. But the point
Okay.
is,
But if you decide to run for it, you know that stuff's gonna get dug up, right? Like if I ran
So,
for it and
yeah.
and they interviewed you and said, "Hey, by the way," you could say that for sure, 100%,
yeah,
100%.
So
Now,
what's the problem?
did I say I'm gonna grab by the pussy? No, I said smash. I think she's hot. I think she's. If he would have said, "Man, I find that girl really attractive, really hot," I would have no issue. The guy said, "I'm gonna grab her by the pussy." They don't care. That's fucked
dude,
up.
I can tell you immediately. We've
That's
said
fucked up.
far worse. And if
For
you
sure,
if you ran
Patrick.
for
Well,
office, I wouldn't hold it against
I'd
you
be
because
fucked.
that's
For
just
sure.
fun boy talk. It doesn't really
I-
mean anything.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that if I'm running for president, I'm running for president of the United States, one of the biggest fucking countries in the world, influence around the world,
Okay.
and that comes out, and I'm a woman, I'm not voting for him. There's no fucking way.
Well, that's
I'm voting for a guy who said that.
that's what freedom
And
is. You
for
can
any-
decide whether or not that affects you personally or not.
I understand that, and for the people who voted for Trump, that is their own free will. Me personally, and I think I'm entitled to my own opinion, correct? I think
Mhm.
they're fucking idiots,
Well,
but they're allowed to vote for them.
I remember there was a clip circulating. It was I think it was, I don't know if she's an actress, some female representative or something. She was on like a guest show, and she was asked
Yeah.
like, "Oh, did you vote for Trump?" She said, "Yes, I did." It's like, really? Even though he's kind of anti-woman, and they brought up the grab her by the pussy comment, and she said in response, "I'd rather have a president who says the words grab her by the pussy than a president who is a pussy."
See, like, okay, see, it's like if that's your mentality, and that's what it is, fine. But I'm looking at younger women or women who are raped or abused or whatever, and they can't go get. Like I just heard a case a couple days ago. A woman died. She tried to get an abortion in New Mexico because in there it was still legal. She didn't make it in time. She died. All because her state doesn't allow abortions.
Why did she go to Mexico? Why not just go to another
No,
state?
New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico.
That's in America.
No, I thought you said
That's
just
in
in
America.
Mexico. Another
Oh,
way.
no, New Mexico, and she died because her state doesn't allow abortions, you know, that could have been avoided. That could have been avoided. She could have had the abortion. It could have been fine. Whatever. Her boyfriend raped her, left. She then tried to get it. She was underage, right? Didn't have a car. She was worried. She didn't want to tell her parents. Whatever. Tries to get a ride to New Mexico. She got there. They did it. It was a botch. It was like some bootleg fucking operation. It was botched. She died.
Wait, what? Wait, so you bootleg as in not done by a clinic or something?
Well, not done by a clinic, but I'm not sure if in New Mexico it's legal. I'll have to brush up on that one. I have no clue. All I know is that she went elsewhere to try and get this abortion in America, not in Mexico, but in America, and she died because her state doesn't have that right. And for me, that's just fucked up. But we'll move past that, because for me, I want to get into this part, because this is my favorite. I love to see. I really want to see how you're gonna defend them on this one. So. With Ukraine, right? Could you please tell me who started the war between Russia and Ukraine?
Would be Russia when they invaded.
It'd be Russia, right?
Yes.
Be Russia who started it, right?
I
So
would
please tell me
assume-
why did Trump say that Ukraine started the war?
Did you say that?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I just want to know how would you defend that, Patrick? How would you defend him on that one?
I would not be able to.
Okay, good. So so we're all on the same page on that one. Okay, good. So he said Ukraine started the war. Completely false.
Do you have the direct
we can
quote?
both agree on
'Cause
that.
that is kind of weird
That
to
is
say.
a direct quote. Direct quote. You can watch the video. I can find it for you. He said on one of his many fucking meetings with the press, he said Ukraine started this war. I don't know why they started the war, but they started this war. He said that to President Zelensky himself. You started the war. Completely false. We can agree on that part, correct?
I don't know. I haven't seen that. But
Okay, well,
I mean, if he said
if
it,
you
he said
find,
it, then it's true.
You want to go find a clip? It's a direct quote from Trump himself, from his ugly ass mouth. He said, "Ukraine started this war." Right now, if you're a political figure, if you're a president of a country, first of all, Zelensky's is a dumbass for even going to America. I don't even know why this guy decided to even come to America. That was the dumbest thing you could have done. Because I don't know what he was expecting from Trump and JD Vance, but I know for a fact, he should not even been there. He walked into a fucking trap. He walked into a trap, and as a president who's fighting a war with a big ass country like Russia, to be scolded like a child on live television by Trump, first of all, the control that Zelensky had during that meeting is incredible. I would have punched him in the fucking face.
Control, man, was losing it.
Well, exactly. I would have lost it even more so than he did, for sure. I would have punched somebody. It would have been Vance or Trump. I don't know who I would have punched. I would have punched someone, for sure. That's one. Second of all, Vance should even be fucking talking. I don't even know why the fuck he's there. The guy interrupting every fucking 5 minutes. Third of all, what they should have had was a translator. He's Ukrainian. His second or even third language is probably English. Even when I was listening to the interview, I had to rewind it a couple times because I couldn't understand what Zelensky was saying, because he has such a strong accent that I felt like if there would have been a translator, I felt like what he wanted to say his point would have gotten across along better if it was someone who was American translating for him. Me personally, that's what I felt like, for sure, because I felt like he couldn't really portray what he wanted to say clearly because of his accent. But regardless of the fact, the only point I will give Trump in that whole fucking meeting is the fact that yes, they did give a lot of money to Ukraine to defend. If America didn't step in the way that they stepped in when Biden was in office, Ukraine would have been wiped off the map. I said this from day one. I knew for a fact that Zelensky was going to have to give us some territory of Ukraine back to Russia. That was non-negotiable. I saw that coming day one. I knew that was going to happen. Now, to be ridiculed the way that he was from I don't know who the fuck was in the back saying, how come you don't have a suit on, whatever, screw that guy. I hope he kills himself, because that's fucking retarded.
Should have a suit.
Guy,
I think he should have a suit.
No, for what reason? The guy's fucking fighting a war.
Trying to be a professional, but you're right.
Okay. As a president, He's allowed to wear the fuck with the
You-
guy.
are you
yeah,
telling
he
me?
wears-
Are you telling me in the 10-hour plane ride to the U.S. he couldn't put on a suit?
Because he's, you know what? He could have put on a suit, maybe, for sure, fine. But for you to fucking ridicule him and bully him, why the fuck you not wearing a suit? You being the president of the United States, you be wearing a suit. Fuck off.
Well,
Like
see,
I don't
it's-
know who the fuck that guy was.
It's disrespectful.
He's in the back. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
You're
And
gonna,
what
you're
was
gonna
it?
go over
It
to
would've been-
someone, beg them for money,
it would've
and just
been-
not even
it-
at least present yourself in a professional manner.
It would have been disrespectful if you would have went up there and sounded like, yo, what up, Trump? Listen, I need this, this, and this, bro. Let's go. Let's get this shit rolling. That's disrespectful. He walked in, he sat down with him, he spoke with him, he let him talk. He couldn't get a fucking word in, but he let Trump and Vance talk a whole lot. And this guy in the background going, you should have had a suit on. If Trump would have told him you should have had a suit on, okay, fine. It wasn't even Trump. It was some loser in the back.
Some random.
Yeah, some random fucking guy, some reporter in the back mocking him.
At that point, it's
That's
just a
why-
heckler. Just
Exactly.
just saying
Exactly.
shit.
Like, if it was Trump, then I would have given you, like, you know what, Patrick? It was
Okay.
President Trump who said it to Zelensky. Fine. It wasn't even Trump or Vance. It was some guy in the back who shouldn't even be there.
That is weird
To be
though.
honest.
Like, how do they even?
Yeah.
How are they even allowed to
fucking know.
comment during? Like, was it the questions? Where they say like, "Oh, any
No, it
questions or
wasn't.
no?" That's so
No,
weird.
it was like during, like, I think it was like a minute before they actually like got into like them talking. Anyways, for me, the way that Trump handled it is disgraceful. I don't like the way he spoke to Zelensky at all. He spoke to him like a fucking child, which makes no fucking sense. He's a man just like you, grown ass man, and runs a country. For you to be like, you should be thanking us, and you should be. No. He did say thank you. He said thank you multiple times to America, multiple times to Canada, multiple times to Europe. Thank you for sending this. Thank you for keeping our country alive, and thank you for sending. He has. What do you want? To grovel at your feet and kiss your feet and go thank you so much? Fuck no. You're not a god. You're not a fucking god. Though he has been writing on his True Social webpage king and god, which is not good at all, because you're not a king nor are you a god. You're a man who runs a country, and all these countries have rules. But for me, that really pissed me off. That was the part that I would love to see. The fact that he said, just, yeah, he started the war. I'm like, beg your finest pardon. He didn't start no fucking war. That was all Russia. So, and then lastly, before we can move on to something that isn't political, yeah, did you watch or hear about the Four Nations hockey stuff? Did you hear about that or
Four
no?
Nations now. Hockey.
Okay, so-
what the fuck is that?
Hockey. So basically, what happened was every year in the NHL they do like an all-star game. Like last year they had like celebrities coaching. Like they had like Justin Bieber for some reason, and Michael Bublé I think was there too for some bizarre reason. And it's a very boring competition. It's like the best of each team, and they do like these little competitions, and they do like a little 3-on-3. It's very boring. It's not very fun to watch because of course they don't want to hurt each other because they have to go back to their team and finish the rest of the season. Anyways, it's very boring to watch, and I think the NHL realized that. So this year they decided to try something different. They tried to do this thing called the Four Nations Face-Off. So you had Canada, America, Sweden, and Finland, which is the 4 biggest hockey countries in the world, basically compete in a small 1-week round-robin tournament. Ever since Trump became president, these whole tariffs have been going on. Any team that's American that comes to Canada, their anthem gets booed at every game, basically. Which I disagree with. I don't think the anthem should be booed. That makes no sense because the anthem isn't about what's happening presently. It's what's happened in the past. You know, how they defended their country, how they fought for their country, and that part I think should be honored and respected. I want to say that on record. I think what they're doing is wrong. So basically, it was a great success. The games were very intense. There was hitting, there was fighting, but the game that brought the most attention was the game versus Canada and the United States. It was a great game. Just off the whistle, Patrick, there was 3 fights in the first 2 minutes of the game. And this is not just, oh, like I'm grabbing your shirt and punching you like on the chin. No. Full-fledged fist fight. No holding back. just haymakers, just shooting each other. It was crazy. It was crazy to watch. Anyways, the Americans won. They won 2-1. And what happened was Canada had to win versus Finland to get their rematch versus America in the finals, which would be played in Boston. Canada won versus Finland, and the finals took place. President Trump called the American hockey team to wish them good luck and wrote on Truth Social, "I've invited Governor Trudeau over to watch the game, and we can discuss Canada being the 51st state," right?
Mm-hmm.
So then this game turned into a political game, basically, right? After that was said, the game was very intense, back and forth between the Americans and the Canadians, but fortunately, and thank God, the Canadians came on top in overtime and won 3-2 versus America. And Trudeau wrote, by far, my favorite tweet of all time. He just said, "You can't take our country, and you can't take our game." That, for me, right there, I was like, drop the mic, Trudeau. Just drop the mic. Because that's fucking awesome. I love that so much. Just shut America up for the next 4 years. Oh, sorry, 2 years before the Olympics show up in 2 years. Because all the Americans were going, "Oh, this is our game. We beat Canada in Montreal, and we fucking slapped around 3-1." I'm like, okay, relax, buddy. And then we fucking took care of business, and scored.
They should just replace wars with hockey games and sports.
Honestly, bro, that'd be great. Honestly, I would enjoy that so much more. But yeah, so for me, regardless of the whole political thing, I think it was a great success to be proud of your country and to show off your country. I hope that they do it again. To be honest, I really, really hope that they do it again. But it was very fun to watch. But that's it for Political Corner. We can finally get out of that fucking mess until next month. I want to talk to you about something interesting. Does daylight saving time affect you?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so it affects me majorly. Like, I get sick.
What?
Like, throw up sick. Yeah, I don't know what it is, dude. When I was a kid, I was fine, but I want to say ever since I was like around 23, 24, I get sick. Like, I didn't even go into work on Sunday. I was supposed to have soccer coaching in the morning. I didn't even go in. I had a major headache the night before. And I had this really weird pain in my chest. I was dizzy. I was nauseous. The whole, like, I've been better since, I want to say yesterday, but the first 2 days, dude, I was like a fucking mess.
It's 1 hour, Jamal. Calm down.
But you know what though? But I'm not alone. A lot of people go through this. A lot of people go through this, and there's been a lot of talks about just getting rid of it altogether. And I'm so for it. A lot of countries don't even do it.
It's mostly for work outside. Specifically.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, because in construction, like when I was working in construction, the
you
sun
know this.
during the winter doesn't come up till about 8 a.m. like fully to where you can actually see. Otherwise, they have to install a bunch of lights, and in the dark, it's pretty fucking cold. So the point of daylight savings is to offset the daylight, the amount of daylight you get.
I mean, listen,
so,
I'm fine with it. I'll get used to it. But it's just, I've been hearing a lot of talks about it. I think a couple of American states don't even follow anymore. I think Arizona is one of them that doesn't follow.
Well, it depends on the geographical location, because their daylight might.
Yeah, because they're good.
Yeah,
they're good. They're on the equator. It's hot. No, I can see why they can't do it up here. I can definitely see that for sure. So, but no, it does affect me a lot. Very, very major effect.
It's nice now because otherwise before, when I leave for work, it's dark out. It's just annoying because people suck at driving in general. Throw the darkness at them and they slow down. Throw some rain at them, they slow down even more. It's fucking annoying.
It's so boring. I swear, they see that, they're like, "Oh my god, it's dark. I can't drive anymore." I'm like, "Bro, like, you have headlights. You're good. Try to start the car."
And then like, "Oh yeah, my headlights." And turn on the high beams. Like, you don't fucking need those.
Yeah. They're behind you. You can't see, so you're like, "Okay, great. I love this."
People are retarded. But yeah, so I've been really appreciating the daylight when I actually leave for work, because now it goes down around 7 p.m.
Yeah,
that's not bad, and it's still pretty bright out when I leave work in the morning, so I appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's very necessary, and the people who want to get rid of it just don't understand.
I guess I never thought about it in terms of construction jobs that work outside in the cold like that you would need that extra hour to kind of move
Yeah.
with the with the daylight. It's interesting. It gets like it always gets like a little bit of talks here and there, and I feel like it like kind of dies down. It's like, oh, like we're gonna talk about it, and like it like disappears basically. But yeah. But anyways, lastly, if you are investing in stocks like me, if you haven't pulled out like in the last 2 weeks, then just wait because all the stocks have dropped because of the whole tariff thing. So I have like a stock that I invested in like it's like $100 whatever, and it was hovering around like 90, 95, $1. It's like I think it's at 76 right now because of the tariffs. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not pulling that out for a long period of time until this all blows over. But yeah, do you think it's gonna last? These tariffs, do you think it could be in place for like many years, or
No, no.
no? You think it's gonna be pretty short-lived?
Well,
I
the
think
whole
so,
point
too.
of the tariff is to get a deal where both
Yeah,
come out on
no.
top. Because what happened a lot through, like especially with China, so much.
Yeah, no.
Americans pay so
China's
much
gonna
to
be
China
interesting.
that
Yeah.
that they lose their value, right? So the whole
It's
point
gonna
of
be interesting
tariffs
with China, though.
that they go all over the place is that they try to get Trump. What Trump wants to do is he just wants to get deals where it's fair to Americans, because at this point they're getting screwed over hand over fist in most trades, not all. I think
Yeah, no,
I think he's playing around with everyone. That way, no one knows exactly. Oh, is he serious for us, or is he just? Are we like an actual threat? Do we have leverage here?
I
So
think
he's
the
spreading
only
it.
thing that I get, he's spreading it. Like I get where you're going from, and I understand that. I don't know what goes down in terms of tariff. I didn't know, like for example, I know that there's like a big dairy tariff, in the sense that in Canada, after a certain amount of dairy, we tariff them 250%, which is crazy to think of. Once they hit a certain limit, I don't know what that limit is, but what I do know is Honda already said that they're going to be building cars in America to avoid a tariff. I forgot when, and I think they're making like over like 1,600 cars in America. I think what's happening, and if that's the case, it's going to be really interesting to test the American people in this way. And I will agree with you, but then I also I have to agree with you, and then I have to disagree with you, and I'll explain why. Right? Trump was saying, "I'll have the war in Ukraine ended day one." Right? I had the economy fixed in day one. I don't think he. I think he knows. I think we both know that that's impossible. Right? It's impossible to fix it in one day.
Yeah, it's one of those.
But-
It's like a campaign slogan, essentially.
Yeah,
But
then
there
what
has
I'm
been results, which are pretty
For
impressive.
sure. But what I'm also saying is that when you say stuff like that, like if I told you I'm gonna fix it by tomorrow, and then I don't fix it by tomorrow, it's disappointing a little bit. You might go, oh, okay, but it's a big job, so I'll give it a bit of time. But some Americans are not like that. Some Americans want it the day that you said, right? So I just feel like sometimes he has to pick and choose his choice of words sometimes, because he says stuff, and then when it doesn't happen, I feel like certain Americans might go, well, he said he was gonna do it day one, and he didn't do it. He's a fucking liar. I'm not saying all Americans are like that, but I feel like some Americans, I can see some Americans saying that, or saying stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
So it's
Because I
like-
think what it comes down to is that he's a businessman through and through, and a part of being a businessman is being a salesman. So you tell people
Sure.
what they want to hear.
Exactly.
And that was
Yeah, so
definitely a
it-
part of it.
Yeah, so it's just a little interesting, like on that front. Yes, there's been progress. There's been talks with Russia. You know that, okay, fine. You know, the Middle Eastern thing has seemed to have settled down now, and he's kind of got it under control. Cool. I'm not saying that what he's all done is bad, but what I am saying is that when you start promising certain things, what I'm saying all in all with this whole tariff thing, is that America's gonna have to go through a good chunk of growing pains. Now, can Americans handle that? Can Americans survive that? We don't know. You know, we don't know. Those are one of the
Well,
situations where
this,
it's like,
this is one of those things where humanity is very old. If you can't survive
Mhm.
tariffs, that's evolution. You're just out at that point.
yeah, for sure.
Because
for
look
sure,
at
but
this
it's
way.
like
Look at this way. You had the Great Recession where people literally boiled their boots so they have something to eat.
Yeah.
Like that's times are hard. Oh,
Yeah, for
grocery
sure.
prices have gone up, but you can still live, right? You're not starving to death like most people did during that time.
But you know, and I agree with you, but I guess we can also say that as a world, we've become softer,
Absolutely,
right?
there's zero
You
doubt
know,
about that. Like, there's not a
oh,
day goes
100%.
by I don't think about the Roman Empire, how hard they had it, and how tough they were.
But you know, so it's one of those things where it's like, I get what you're saying, and you're not wrong for sure. I think the previous generations has had it a lot harder than us, 1,000%. But what I will say, at the same time, to counteract that, is that we can't go back to that time. We just simply will not make it. We simply will not make it. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, as a government, kind of like the whole fiasco with the COVID vaccines, right? Everyone was saying, "Oh, they're trying to kill us," and I'm going, "Why would the government kill us? They need us to pay taxes for the government to thrive.
No,
Why would they give us the vaccine to kill us?"
sadly, there's actually a decent percentage of people who actually had horrible reactions to it and
do, yeah.
did
Well, I
die,
bet.
which is pretty fucked up. So the
I
fact that
think at the
they've
end of the
rushed
day-
production to try and get it around the world,
Mhm.
not to save it, but just to increase the profits. They made $100 billion. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, 100%. Oh,
Which
Pfizer
is-
made money.
Exactly.
Money,
So,
money. Listen, it wasn't well done.
If I
That
could
will
go back,
admit.
Jamal, I would not have taken it. I really don't
Really?
think it was necessary. And the people who I know who got it, it was nothing.
Yeah.
My roommate's dad got it, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I was
Oh.
concerned. I was like, he has respiratory problems and heart problems. And I was
Okay.
like, dude, he's gonna fucking die based on what I've heard.
Yeah.
He's dead. Like, I'm like, I'm here for you. I got you. Whatever you need.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
3 fucking days later, he's fine. I was like, what?
It's possible.
You
No,
should
I
be
was
dead. You were
killed
the,
him.
like
If
he
it's
was
like-
the target, like not necessarily
Target
quite
audience.
in
No,
age,
yeah.
but in terms of
Mhm.
like health concerns. That was
Yeah.
they kept saying, oh, respiratory, heart, this, heart, and age. And I was like, oh, he's
Yeah.
fucked. He's done. Like,
Yeah. No,
he's fine.
dude, I understand that, and honestly, if I had a choice, I would have not taken it either for sure. I definitely agree with you. I was skeptical about it. I had a really bad reaction to it, so I do understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, it's one of those situations where I'm gonna give the government a pass just one time, because if you look at it, in the last, I don't know, 200 years, we've not had a global epidemic like this.
Well, that's not
right?
even.
You know,
I wouldn't
there
necessarily even
is
think to
no-
blame the government though. I would blame
Who
the
would you blame?
pharmaceutical companies and what's Fauci? He's the guy, right?
Fauci.
He was the
Yeah,
head
Dr.
of
Fauci.
WHO.
Yeah,
He's
yes,
the one
yes.
who kept
Oh,
saying
no,
we need this.
no. Fauci was the government of the one who was Trump. This the WHO guy. I know who you're talking about. I forgot his name, but I know I can see his face. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's
I
there was
really-
one dude who
I-
kept pushing for it, and he
I
had
do agree with
he
you
hasn't
with
been
him.
paid off or had investments in it because he kept pushing for it really hard.
But I think also a lot of countries were probably pushing for this too. I think a lot of countries were like, we need to get our economy back on track. Like, give it to us now. Like we want it now. Like I feel like, yeah, he probably didn't help, for sure. But you know, I think it's one of those things where it's like, unfortunately, like really unfortunately, like I think, yes, people died. I'm not saying they didn't, for sure. I think some people were over exaggerating, going, it's like a mass grave, so they're gonna try and kill all of us. Like that's not gonna happen. But it's one of those things where we just didn't have a playbook. You know, there's no playbook for this. There's no playbook for if global pandemic do X, Y, and Z to prevent it from happening. Like there was no playbook for this, which was hard. You know, so it's like that part I do agree, but I do understand where you're coming from. Me too. To be honest, it's like I had no choice. Right? I was working at that time. I kind of had to get it. But
Because what's scary about that is though, because something like that, it can remain dormant in your body for your entire life, and
years.
you won't know
For
it's
years.
affecting
Yeah.
you until you die at the ripe age of 45,
Yeah.
like out of nowhere.
But to be honest, I think it's affecting me now because to get into a bit of a side topic, when I got the vaccine, I want to say maybe a year after it happened, it comes and goes. It's called long COVID. 'Cause I had COVID. I had the disease in the beginning of 2020, around March, I want to say, and my side effects of long COVID is basically I get this scratch, like this earth like scratch in the inner sides of my leg, for like 2 days straight. So it's a really intense scratch. Like I have to scratch it, and then I'll get like this sharp, not sharp pain, but an annoying pain in my chest for like the next 2 days, and then it's gone for like the next 3 months.
So wait, Jamal,
It won't come back.
when you say it's like itchiness on your thigh, would that be your left thigh?
Both thighs.
Both thighs. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Jamal, chest pains, major artery in your thigh.
Yeah.
Dude, you're
Yeah.
fucked.
No. Yeah, no, but I'm gonna see a doctor on April 1st. I have like a family doctor appointment scheduled
No, that's
because
a
like
joke.
what do you mean?
It's April
April
1st.
I didn't click on that. I was like, what do you mean? But imagine you're gonna die April Fool's. No, but it's like it comes. It's weird because I thought it was, and I think another side effect that I have is that I want to say for the last month and a half. Now I've gotten better. Mostly like a good month ago, I had really bad. I couldn't go to sleep. I had like really bad like I just could not fall asleep. For, like the life of me. Like I did everything. Like I was taking sleeping pills. That was the only thing that was helping. And then I ran out of those pills, so I bought another type of pill that had melatonin in it. I took it next day. That chest pain came back. And I was like, okay, maybe it's the pill. So I then started taking it, and a week goes by, and it came again. And that was after the whole fucking daylight savings time. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start taking that pill. I think it's affecting me. And then that happened. I said, okay, maybe it's not the pill. Maybe I'm just fucking dying. So you know what? Let me just book an appointment with the doctor and see what they say. So I'm doing that. I'm gonna have him check my heart. I check my blood pressure. It's fine. So maybe he's gonna find something, and I'm gonna do a blood test and see if that finds anything. So we'll see. I don't know.
Have you been under stress or something?
No, not necessarily. Money's okay. I'm not stressed about money or anything like that. So I really think it's the vaccine. I'm almost like 90% positive because I was looking at long COVID side effects. Everything I just told you is listed, and they even said it will come and go at uncertain times, and it could be unexplained. I was like, wow, that's exactly what I have. Crazy. So, yeah. So that's it. Maybe I'll be dead. Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, what do you want us to do at your funeral? Anything special?
You just piss on it.
I'm gonna like rub myself against your casket and be like, I'm gonna miss you so much. And then everyone's gonna be like, he was gay? I'm like, yes, of course he was gay. He's very gay.
But why you guys not fucking know he's gay? God.
But until I go, I'll be here doing this podcast with you because this is Flabbergasted by Audacity. I'm Jamal.
And I'm Patrick.
And we'll see you guys next week. If I'm
Unless you
still
die.
here.
The decision rests with you. Rests with you.